Welcome back to The Accent Journey, the podcast for non-native speakers of American English who want to sound clearer, more confident, and more natural when they speak. I'm Steve Nelson, your American English accent coach. And in the last episode, we talked about the schwa, the most common sound in American English, and why relaxing unstressed syllables is essential for natural rhythm. We finished with a passage that I asked you to practice yourself. One of my advanced students, Robert, a native speaker of Hungarian, took on the challenge and recorded himself speaking it. Here's Robert's version of last week's practice passage.
When I speak English, I want to sound clear and confident. I know I don't need to sound like a native speaker, but I do want people to understand me easily. Accent change takes time, and that's okay.
Notice Robert's natural-sounding speech rhythm, primarily his sense of which words should get stressed and which words shouldn't, and how he links words smoothly from one to another, which gives the listener a sense of native-like fluency. Well done, Robert. Now, if you want to appear on the podcast reading the passage of the week, drop us an email at info@accentfirst.com and we'll give you instructions on how to do it. Thanks so much to Robert for giving last week's practice passage a go. Now to today's learning material. This time, I'm going to talk about a concept that changes how you hear and produce English sounds. It's called voicing. Many learners believe pronunciation problems come from bad sounds. But sometimes it isn't whether your lips or tongue move in the proper position. It's whether the sound is voiced or voiceless. Voicing affects final S endings, ED endings, plurals, the verb tense, and overall intelligibility. In other words, voicing can change whether someone understands your grammar, not just your accent. Let's simplify this. A voiced sound uses your vocal cords. A voiceless sound does not. Here's a quick test. Put your fingers gently on your throat. Now say z, as in zoo, and lengthen the z. Z. Do you feel the vibration with z? Now keep your fingers there and try s, as in sat. Lengthen the s again. S. Did you feel there was no vibration with s? That vibration with z is voicing. That's your vocal cords vibrating. Now try this. B-b-b and p-p. Same mouth position, different voicing. Again, b is voiced and p is not voiced. English has 8 sound pairs like this. D, t, g, k, b, p, th, th, v, f, z, s, j, sh, and j, ch. They're all exactly the same as far as your lips, tongue, and jaw are concerned. The only difference is voicing or no voicing. And if you miss the voicing difference, words can sound incomplete or unclear. And since all vowels are voiced, this only affects consonant sounds. Many languages don't use voicing the same way English does, especially at the end of words. So learners may drop the sound, make it voiceless, or make every ending sound the same. For example, some non-native speakers of English might make final voiced sounds voiceless, which is called devoicing, in words like was or because, and make them sound like was or because. But native speakers rely heavily on voicing to understand meaning. And not only that, if you don't voice sounds properly, your non-native accent will really stand out. Let's look at one of the most common problem areas, the final S. In English, final S can be pronounced in 3 different ways. First is S, the voiceless S. This appears after voiceless sounds. Some examples are cats, laughs, stops. The second way that final S can be pronounced is a voiced Z, and it appears after voiced sounds like b, d, g, v, m, n, and all vowels. For example, dogs, lives, sees. And the third way that final S can appear is as. That appears after s, z, sh, ch, and j. For example, watches, classes, judges. It also creates an extra syllable. This is not random, but based on very specific rules. All right, let's practice. Repeat after me. Cat, cats. Dog, dogs. Laugh, laughs. Live, lives. Notice that S feels lighter, while Z feels longer and vibrated. So listen and repeat. I like cats. She owns 2 dogs. He lives near the office. She laughs a lot. Did you get all of the voiced S endings? Here's a simple rule to remember. If the sound before the S vibrates, the S ending vibrates too. No need to memorize lists, just feel the sound. Okay, now here's this week's practice passage. You can find the text of this passage in our show notes or on our website at accentfirst.com/podcast. Ready? Let's try it once slowly. She works with international clients and manages several projects. She believes clear communication matters and takes time to explain details. Her coworkers respect her ideas, ask questions, and trust her decisions because she speaks clearly and confidently. Okay, now let's try it again at a little bit more of a natural speed. She works with international clients and manages several projects. She believes clear communication matters and takes time to explain details. Her coworkers respect her ideas, ask questions, and trust her decisions because she speaks clearly and confidently. Pay attention to the words with S endings, such as works, clients, manages, and believes. Okay, let's pause and reflect on the main takeaways for today. First, voicing affects meaning. Missing voicing can change tense, number, or clarity. Second, your ears matter as much as your mouth. Train yourself to hear the vibration in words. And third, small sounds create big changes. If today's episode felt challenging, that's good. Difficulty often means you're working on something important. Thanks for continuing the accent journey. This week, try this. When listening to English, notice word endings. Ask yourself, voiced or voiceless? This podcast is brought to you by Accent First Speech Communication Services, online at accentfirst.com. Drop us a line at info@accentfirst.com, or if you'd like to try this week's practice passage. Our music is Hypnosis by Vendredi. In the next episode, we'll focus on ED endings and why worked, lived, and wanted all end differently. Until next time, stay curious, stay patient, and keep practicing with intention.